It all started in the heart of Alaska, where the snow kisses the mountains and the air feels like a breath straight from heaven. That's where the story of the Alaskan Noble Companion dog begins, not just as a breed, but as a legend wrapped in fur. He wasn't bred in labs or showrooms. He was born in the wild, raised by the wind, hardened by the ice, and shaped by the silence of the forest. Locals whispered stories about a dog that wasn't just a guardian, but a soul-tied partner, something closer to an angel than an animal. I remember the first time I saw one. It was in a remote village where cell signals died and time slowed down. A storm was coming down the valley, and a child, barely 7, was wandering too close to the riverbank. Everyone was shouting, panic thick in the air. That's when he came. Massive, majestic, fur like velvet armor, eyes like old souls. He bolted past the snowdrifts like he was born with wings. The river was half frozen, and the current could swallow a man. But that dog didn't hesitate. He went in, teeth clenched, muscles taut. He pulled that child from the icy grip of death and dragged her to shore. Then he stood over her, not barking, not pacing, just watching, like a sentinel from another world. That's when I knew this wasn't just any dog. People call them Alaskan Noble Companions. But they're more than that. They don't just protect homes. They read hearts. They don't just walk trails. They walk destinies. There's something divine stitched into their DNA. And once one chooses you, you'll never face another battle alone. I met Elijah 2 years later. He was a veteran who had lost more than most men could bear. Haunted by things he never spoke of, he moved to Alaska to escape. He lived in a small wooden cabin far from civilization, hoping to find silence, maybe even peace. But silence can be loud when it echoes off the walls of trauma. One day, Elijah found a pup, barely old enough to stand, curled up near his woodpile, half-starved and frostbitten. He nursed him back to health, whispering stories into the night as the pup listened, wide-eyed. He named him Solomon, a fitting name, because that dog carried wisdom in his bones. Weeks turned into months, and something changed in Elijah. He no longer stared into the fire with glassy eyes. He started walking again, first short trails, then longer ones. He started chopping wood, growing food, talking to neighbors, all because of a dog that wouldn't leave his side. Solomon wasn't trained in therapy. He didn't need to be. He would sit at Elijah's feet during the long winters, pressing close when the memories hit hard. He would sleep across the door when the nightmares came, nudging his human awake before the screams could begin. He pulled Elijah out of darkness, not with force, but with faith. That's what an Alaskan Noble Companion does. I've seen them run through avalanches to bring back hikers. I've seen them pull sleds for miles with children wrapped in blankets when the roads were blocked. I've seen them stand nose to nose with bears, their fur bristling, refusing to back down because the family behind them mattered more than their own life. They don't ask for much, just your heart. In return, they'll give you something this world has forgotten. Unwavering loyalty, unmatched courage, and a love that doesn't fade when things get hard. These dogs are not fashion statements. They are not accessories. They are guardians of your soul. They'll stand between you and danger, fear, grief, even loneliness. I remember the night the fire broke out in the cabin by the ridge. The wind was merciless. The family was trapped, mother, father, 2 kids. The alarms failed. The phones were dead. But their dog, Kuma, woke up. He barked, clawed at the door, pulled blankets off the bed. He led them out one by one, pushing, biting at clothes, refusing to leave until every single person was outside. Then the roof collapsed. That cabin is ash now. But the family, they're alive. Because Kuma never let the flames win. They say some heroes wear capes. But in Alaska, they wear fur. You don't buy an Alaskan Noble Companion. You earn one. They don't follow commands. They follow hearts. And once they decide you're worth it, nothing, not storms, not scars, not even death, can tear them away. I've seen them wait at graveyards, refusing to leave the resting place of their humans. I've seen them lie on porches long after families move, waiting for someone to come back. Their loyalty is carved into glaciers, their love stronger than the north wind. There's a reason why those who know don't just call them dogs. They call them family. They call them protectors. They call them miracles. Because when you're hiking to the wild unknown, when your house creaks in the middle of the night, when your world turns upside down and you've got no words left, there will be one presence standing beside you, silent and strong. A dog who would walk through fire for you. A dog who already has. An Alaskan noble companion. The guardian your soul never knew it needed. The friend who will never let you fall. And once you've known one, you'll never see dogs the same way again.